someone has opened up to us about contemplating or attempting suicide, how can we go about helping them? Professor Kuruvilla George from the Centre of Theology and Psychology shares with us a few ideas to help get us started. How then can we go about helping people that may be contemplating suicide or have contemplated or attempted suicide?
Yeah. Again, there are many things that we can read these days. You just go on the website, you can see the things that we can do. I mean, and they talk about immediate if you find somebody. So I don't want to go into details again because it all takes time. If you find you go on somebody who has tried to commit suicide, immediately is to remove that person from that environment, take away whatever they have used to try and commit, whether it be tablets or a rope or whatever. Once if somebody has committed suicide, be with them. You can't go away from them because they're going to probably attempt again. So these are all immediate things, and refer the person. If somebody has tried to commit suicide, don't try to deal with it yourself. They need professional help. This is something that I have to stress again and again. There are two things that in psychiatry we say we should not miss. Because in many other specialties there are so many things that you shouldn't miss. But in psychiatry there are two things. One is a suicidal patient, and the other is a homicidal patient. So one thing I would reinforce again and again, if you come across somebody who has tried to commit suicide, refer them for professional help. Once they have come to that point. I mean, if they're considering, thinking, there are things that we can do, but once they've tried to do that, I can't keep repeating it. Refer. So then what can we do to prevent? Identify warning signs. Those are things that we can do. Okay. And what are some of the signs? Talking, writing about death or dying. Threatening self-harm. Having means of self-harm. Hoarding medication. Having guns. Poisonous substances. People with mental health problems that are getting worse, especially depression, not getting any better. Feeling of hopelessness. People with psychotic symptoms. These are all dangerous situations where we need, when a person has been started on antidepressants. This is interesting. Somebody is depressed, they're severely depressed, they feel lethargic, no motivation, no energy. Even though they think they want to commit suicide, they don't have the energy to carry out what they want to. Once you start on antidepressants, that is a very a dangerous period, because as they're beginning to improve, they get more energy and they be able to go through what they've been.
They've got the capacity now that they could actually follow through with it.
So if you are a relative or a friend of somebody who's started on antidepressants, who has been thinking and considering suicide, they've thought about it, they've been talking about it, be careful. Increase alcohol intake or substance abuse in a person may be a warning sign to be noted. Increasing withdrawal from family, friends, or faith community may be another warning sign. Someone who makes a new will suddenly changes an existing will. They might be contemplating something for you to think about. So when we suspect someone like that, then there are a few questions we can ask these people. And don't hesitate. What are some of the questions? Have you been feeling depressed? When you feel this way, have you had thoughts of harming or killing yourself? We often are hesitant to ask that question because we feel somebody who hasn't got that thought, you ask that question, you're introducing a new thought to them. But what we used to train all medical students and psychiatric trainees is, no, it's the other way around. When somebody's been having these thoughts, you ask that question, they feel relieved in a way that somebody is able to understand, and they'll explain. You're not going to introduce a new thought if they haven't had it. And if you don't ask that question, you're going to miss someone who probably is suicidal.
And I think that's so worth reiterating, that you're not going to make it worse by asking. Like you say, it might actually bring a little bit of relief, because all of a sudden they don't have to work out how to tell you or bring it up with you.
Because you have asked the question and
them.
You understand how they're going.
Exactly.
Feeling. When and how often have you had these thoughts? What did you think of doing? When and where? When was the last time you had these thoughts? Have you acted on these thoughts in any way? Like accumulating medication, buying poison, ropes, gun, etc. Have your thoughts ever included harming someone else as well as yourself? We increasingly hear of suicide and homicide. People who kill themselves and they got little children. They feel there's no point in leaving them, taking them as well. Yeah. Have you made plans for your possessions or left a will or instructions? Have you thought about how your action will affect your loved ones? What has stopped you from acting on your thoughts so far? What help would make it easier for you to cope? How does talking about all this make you feel? These are some questions that we can ask if you feel that somebody is suicidal.
Yeah. I think one of the concerns people often have is that even if I am going to ask these questions and I have the courage or I know I'm supposed to ask them these questions, what do I do with what they tell me? And I think that goes back to what you were saying before. Refer. We're not the ones that are trying to help them deal with this. They need to see some professional help.
Yeah. And many of them might not be willing to be referred. Then obviously, you can't force that.
Yeah.
But if somebody has attempted, we have all the right to do that.
Okay.
And especially young children and adolescents, we have that responsibility to refer them on.
Yeah.
Even if they say, I don't want to, because they've got probably don't have that the same capacity to make that decision.
Yeah.
But somebody who has attempted, always refer. And if somebody that has got medication stored up, a gun, we have the responsibility to let the authorities know that this, after that, if not, they do something, then it'll be on us that we did not take action.
Yeah. If you're searching for more resources on suicide and suicide awareness, you can head to anxiousfaith.org/suicide or check the link in the description. And if these videos have brought up anything that is difficult for you or someone you know's mental health, please, we strongly encourage you to reach out for help. Here at Anxious Faith, we're all about tackling the big questions of faith and mental health. We'd love for you to join our community on socials and continue these conversations.